Arpeggios aren't just a series of notes, they're the magic that turns chords into beautiful music. And in this lesson, I'm gonna show you everything you need to know to start playing arpeggios right away. So what is an arpeggio? An arpeggio is simply a broken chord. And you can take any chord and play the notes sequentially to get a beautiful sounding arpeggio. So let's take a look at the G major chord. So normally we would play G, B, and D with our 1, 3, and 5 fingers. But I'm just gonna swap these 2 fingers. I'm gonna play 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna add the bottom note, the root note, to the top. So you're playing 1, 3, 5, 1. Isn't it pretty? And there's an arpeggio. So let's take a look at our hand positioning. Let's go back to that G arpeggio. I'm gonna play G, B, D, and as I reach for this G, you don't wanna get stuck here. You wanna allow movement and mobility in your body so that you can stay relaxed through your hand. It's really, really important. So as soon as I've played this G, I'm gonna let go and I'm gonna bring my wrist slightly with my elbow here, and then I'm gonna come back down. So try that with me. I'm gonna use my pedal just because it makes it sound prettier. So you got this movement. And that's a 1 octave arpeggio, but multiple octaves sound so good, and they involve one more technical step. Play a 1 octave arpeggio, we just have this position. We're really just here. For a 2 octave arpeggio, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then our thumb has to come underneath. We reset our hand, and we've got it. So that takes a bit more practice. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, thumb tucks under, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then you come back down exactly the way you went up. So when you hit your thumb or your 1 finger, your 3 comes up and over like that. So you wanna be careful you don't have like chicken wings. Like you don't wanna be doing that. You wanna be very smooth with it, and you really wanna nail this transition. So how do we do that with our left hand? Just sort of flip it around. We're gonna play with our 5, 3, 2, 1, and then your 3rd finger comes up and over, and you're there. 1, 2, 3, tuck your thumb, 1, 2, 3, 5. Now that we've got our basic arpeggios under our fingers, we can get creative because we can take out some of the notes, we can add different notes, we can create really beautiful patterns and accompaniments. In fact, one of the main left-hand accompaniments I use whenever I am playing with chords uses an arpeggio pattern. So I play the root, I'm gonna skip the 3rd, I'm gonna play the 5th, and I'm gonna add the root back in. So this sounds so pretty and open. You could just have fun and improvise forever with just this pattern, and you can move it anywhere you like. So check this out. If I were to play, there's my full E minor arpeggio, but I just got rid of this guy. And I can move that to C, and then back to G. Isn't that pretty? So that's one of many arpeggio patterns you can use as an accompaniment. Now another way you can set this up to make a really beautiful sounding arpeggio pattern is you can take that 3rd. So let's go back, let's just look at our G arpeggio. These are our notes. This is the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. So I'm gonna take this 3rd and I'm gonna place it on the top of the pattern. So I'm gonna get rid of this guy. Isn't that pretty? I've done that with an A minor arpeggio. So let's just look at that, build that together one more time. Root, 5th, the 3rd would be B, so you really need to rotate up. Now if you want to do it for an A minor arpeggio, there's our notes. We're getting rid of the 3rd to place it here, so it's a C, and I'm gonna use my thumb. Isn't that gorgeous? We can make what we just did even more expressive by walking our way up to that 3rd. So check this out. I'm gonna play the root, the 5th, and then I'm gonna play the root again. And then I'm gonna cross my 3rd finger up and over to play the very next note, like that. So we walk up to that 3rd. It's like a spa day. pretty. Now this gets really fun when you apply it to a chord progressions. We want to start on G. And I used my 2 for the crossover there. You can set it up however you like. Down to D minor. Then F. Then C. And I didn't walk it down, I just walked up and left it there that time. So altogether, D minor, F, C. Oh, I could get lost playing that for a really long time. It's so pretty. So that's all wonderful, but what if we want to build some energy and intensity in our music? It actually works really well to go back to the basics. If I'm gonna play, let's get some energy going. Let's play an A minor arpeggio. I'm gonna play it in my left hand, and I'm just gonna move really rapidly and quickly through the notes. Right? Instantly you're like, ooh, where's this going? It feels really exciting. And so you want to make sure that you've been practicing your basic arpeggios because that makes it really, really easy to do. Now you can also do this using 2-octave arpeggios with your right hand. So I could play a nice solid octave in my left, and then I could play a big arpeggio here, listen. I could go to G, F, E, and you can have a lot of fun with that too. Arpeggios, they're so flexible. You can build intensity, you can make things really relaxing, you can have great left-hand accompaniments, and they're in all kinds of songs. So songs like the Titanic theme song, or Golden Hour, or Unchained Melody. These songs all use arpeggios. Now we've got a lot of those inside our members area, so if you want a free trial, you can go grab that below so you can play some of your favorite arpeggios from your favorite songs. So how do we apply arpeggios to songs? So if you're using a chord chart or a lead sheet, you can simply look at the chord names above the music and build your arpeggios. Something like Hallelujah is a really good example of how an arpeggio can fit just in its most basic form. Right? So if I see a G, I'm gonna play a G arpeggio, and if I see an E minor, I'm gonna play an E minor arpeggio. A C gives me a C arpeggio, D, right? So that's a very straightforward way to apply it. If you want to be a little more creative, or maybe you've got a song that's not in 6/8, it's like 4/4. We were both young. We'll use Taylor Swift. You can just use that 5th root pattern. We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes. That works. And the magic starts. You could even get crazy and I'm standing there. Ooh, that's different. On a balcony, summer airs. But I hope this has given you a really good foundation. So now you know what an arpeggio is, how to build one, how to have some fun creating your own accompaniments and improvisations. If you have any questions, comment below and I'll see you around.